Have you ever heard a story that just sticks with you? The kind of story that makes you question everything you thought you knew? Today, we're diving into 5 of those stories. From a therapist's most haunting case to a farm mystery that defies explanation, these are the tales that prove reality is often stranger and more terrifying than fiction. First up, a story from a therapist who recounted a case she will never forget. It began with an 11-year-old boy sitting in her office, his small frame shaking with sobs. Between tear-filled breaths, he uttered words no child should ever have to say. "My daddy's not alive because of me." The therapist leaned in, preparing for what she knew would be a difficult session. The boy began to share the story of his family, a seemingly normal suburban family, until his father's career took off. He was a corporate climber, a man who lived and breathed his job. With each promotion, he seemed to climb further away from his family. The long hours turned into late nights, which turned into a crippling addiction. The boy, just a child, would lie awake in his bed, a silent witness to the turmoil. He would hear the muffled arguments, the hushed apologies, and the raw, heartbreaking sounds of his parents' marriage falling apart. When he was 9, his father tried to get sober. For a few months, there was hope. But hope, it turned out, was fragile. One afternoon, the boy found something he wasn't supposed to see. Proof of his father's infidelity. His father, desperate, begged him to keep it a secret. But the boy, loyal to his mother, couldn't. He told her everything. The divorce was swift and brutal. His mother got full custody, and his father, with his mental health in tatters, lost his job and his career. With nothing left, the father showed up at his son's soccer practice. He was desperate, pleading, and promised his son ice cream if he would just come with him. The boy, sensing something was wrong, knew he couldn't go. At a gas station, while his father wasn't looking, he called the police. When his father found out, he blamed his son for everything. That night, his father ended his life. The boy lived with a crushing guilt, convinced he was the reason his father was gone. But the therapist helped him see the truth. His father's choices were his own. The boy's decision, in that moment, was the bravest thing he had ever done. Our next story takes us into the unsettling world of medical mysteries. This one starts with a teenager named Susan, a typical 16-year-old, except for one thing. She was convinced there was a bug in her nose. She'd been complaining of strange pains in her head and a tickling sensation in her nose that just wouldn't go away. Late one night, scared and in tears, she told her mom, "Mom, I think there's a bug stuck in here." Her mother, worried but thinking it was probably just a sinus issue or a simple object, rushed her to the hospital. Susan's story quickly spread among the nurses, and a medical team gathered. They thought it would be a simple procedure, maybe a small insect or a piece of foreign matter that had been inhaled. They were all wrong. As the doctors began the examination, the room grew silent. Susan squeezed her mother's hand tightly, a nervous lump in her throat. The doctor carefully inserted a camera, and what they saw wasn't just a bug, but something far more horrifying. It wasn't a living creature, but something else entirely, a dark, festering mass. It was a severe fungal infection, a rare and aggressive type that was rapidly destroying the tissue in her nasal cavity. The bug was just a symptom of something much scarier, a condition that could have been fatal if left untreated. Now for a story that has baffled a small farming community and has been passed down for generations. The night was eerily silent on the family farm when Sarah first heard it, a low, almost human-like moan from the barn. Her family's farm had never been this strange, and the source of the sound was Emma, their pregnant cow. But Emma was different. No bull had ever been near her, yet somehow she was expecting. The mystery deepened when Emma refused to eat her farm feed, instead only eating Sarah's mom's homemade lasagna. At night, ghostly, childlike whimpers would drift from the darkness, sending shivers down their spines. As Emma's due date approached, the tension on the farm grew palpable. The local veterinarian was baffled. and the neighboring farmers whispered rumors of a curse. When the moment of delivery finally came, Sarah watched in a state of shock. What emerged wasn't a calf. The thing that stared back at them was impossible. Its features were distorted, its eyes a deep, unnatural black. Sarah's father dropped his coffee mug, and the blood in her veins ran cold. It was something that definitely wasn't from this world. The family never spoke of it again, burying the truth in the cold earth. But the memory of that night and the impossible creature that came from Emma haunted them forever. What would you do if you found a large sum of cash hidden in your child's room? That's the question a mother named Sarah had to ask herself one Sunday morning. While cleaning her 6-year-old daughter Mia's room, she found a stack of $100 bills hidden under the mattress. Confused and concerned, she immediately confronted Mia, who was playing in the garden. "Mia, where did you get all this money?" Mia's response was simple. "I found it." But she refused to say more. No matter how much Sarah pressed, Mia remained silent. Sarah's anxiety grew with each passing moment. A 6-year-old couldn't just find that much money. Unable to shake her worries, she made a difficult decision and called the police. When the police arrived to investigate, what they uncovered shocked everyone. The truth was far more disturbing and unexpected than anyone could have imagined. The money was counterfeit. A large, sophisticated counterfeiting operation had been taking place in their small town, and the criminals, desperate to hide their work, had been using a series of clever hiding spots. It turned out that a neighbor, a seemingly sweet old lady, was a key player in the operation, and she had been using her garden to store the money. Mia had simply stumbled upon one of her hiding spots and, not knowing any better, had taken the play money back to her room. Our final story is a heartwarming one, but it starts with a secret and a deep sense of betrayal. The narrator of this story was adopted, and for most of her life, she believed her birth mother had died shortly after she was born. Her adoptive parents, whom she couldn't stand, had told her this lie to keep her from ever searching. It wasn't until she was 24 that she found out the truth. Her birth mom was alive. Furious, she stormed out of the house, determined to find the woman who gave her up. The only thing she had was a faded picture of her birth mother holding her as a baby in the hospital. The search felt impossible, but she never gave up. She eventually found her birth mother working at a small cafe. The narrator started going there every day just to see her. They began to chat, and soon they were friends. The narrator couldn't bring herself to tell her the truth, but she couldn't stay away either. She would drive 2 hours just to see her and hear her voice. Her birth mother even told her that she reminded her of an old boyfriend who turned out to be the narrator's father. Finally, she built up the courage to tell her everything. She revealed that she was her daughter and showed her the faded picture. Her birth mom broke down in tears, speechless. Then she pulled out her phone and showed the narrator her lock screen. It was the exact same picture. A moment of shared memory, a bond that had been there all along, was finally unlocked. These stories prove that the world is full of secrets, and sometimes the truth is just waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed these stories, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. Let me know in the comments which story you found the most unbelievable. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.